It's the Center Fantasy Football Podcast.
Welcome to the party, pal! Yes! Yes! Yes, this is my favorite part of the game.
Analyzing all of the league matchups week to week.
You can't win!
Get him a body bag! Finish him!
That is a bit above average.
I said this sucks, and basically so do you.
And discussing the boom, bust, and hidden gem players throughout the league.
We ain't found shit!
What the hell is Brett Favre doing here?
I'm in town to play the Dolphins, you dumbass.
Dan Marino should die of gonorrhea and rot in hell. Laces out.
Touchdown!
And here's your host,
Allow myself to introduce myself.
David Harbatkin.
Hello and welcome to the Center Fantasy Football Podcast for week 10, 11? I don't know, whatever. Joining us on the program, it's obviously, first of all, the commissioner who's awake this week. For a change. You're not, right? I mean, you have like an outfit on and everything. You're not in your pajamas. Like you look like ready to go.
We got a guest on, so
so you had to dress up for this, right?
Exactly.
And then down in our lower right corner,
I won this week, so it's a little easier to
there you go. Well, you were one of the left side of this screen actually won, the right side not so much. So we'll go to my fellow loser, who lost in impressive fashion. Somebody who was smited by the fantasy gods, the coach of that.
This
I don't want to talk about it.
During the booking of the flight to Lambeau.
Yes, he was invited to go to Lambeau. He said he couldn't do it because he has this whole pattern and he didn't want to anger the fantasy gods. Meanwhile, the fantasy gods said you were invited on a trip to Mecca, to the home of football, and you've turned it down. They've smited you.
Yes, they did.
In the most ironic ways as well.
We're going to go down player by player, and we're going to go over what the fantasy gods did this week. Their message was crystal clear this week.
And then joining us, the person that you've been trying to desperately get on this program, the man, I would say the man that Manny hired, but I know Manny too well now. He could never make the moves that Hirsch makes. Like, this is not his burner team anymore, because the difference between these two teams could not be more stark. Everybody says it, by the way. Like, they're looking for a player and they're like, fuck, how is that guy on? Like, how is he already on Gronky Kong? Every time I look too, he's on Gronky Kong. It's ridiculous. So, welcome to the program. I will say, for continuity of the joke, the guy
that team,
but Mr. Yeah. So, are you gonna tell us where you get your information, or?
Yeah, we all want to know.
I mean, Manny went through my desk. He couldn't find anything, I guess.
Have you silenced your alerts for this?
I'm going back in a couple weeks. I'm going to rummage through again. Yeah, you're gonna have to rummage through again. I hit it on you.
Yeah. You left the fake old copy of Sporting News in the top drawer of the desk.
Yeah.
So is it like I don't need to know. Like, so are you doing more like? Is it more like research that you do, or is it like you just know a guy that tells you shit? Is it more like just listening, or like
I kind of had no choice, because like I drafted Chubb, I drafted Edwards-Helaire, and then Edwards-Helaire was doing all right, and then he gets hurt, and then Chubb with his injuries, and then COVID, so I kind of been screwed with running backs. So I kind of had no choice but to just look up like all these people to see who's playing, who's not, because I don't have any running backs to start. And running backs are so tough to get as it is. I kind of got stuck with that, and then I kind of went crazy on the waiver wire. I just kind of pick up new guys like every 2 days. I feel like
2 minutes. It feels like
more moves on the waiver wire than I had. Way more. That's very unusual.
Yeah. I mean, you will now that your team's all hurt, gone. You have no choice.
Yeah, that we're trash. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much.
So when I make a move at 5 o'clock, you make a move at 5:05. Is that coincidence?
Yeah, I mean, I'm feeding my kids, so it's like I might as well just see what's going on, and then like, oh, he made a move. Let me go see what's going on. Just pick up somebody else.
Run to the phone.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been good. I've been pretty lucky with the guys. I've been pretty lucky, but kind of lucky with my injuries.
Lucky.
First of all, Nick Zaveri during the Eagles-Cowboys game was 1 point away. It was 1.9 points, all we needed to upset you that 1 week. And then Manny, all he had to do was kick a field goal. And Lamar Jackson ball hogged the ball. You got lucky that week. All right. Then we met in the head-to-head matchup. I just barely squeaked by you. And then what about the lightning rods? That was an epic comeback on the lightning rods game.
Yeah, that was bad. That was really bad. That was the week I think I would have won if that fucking what was it? That holding? The roughing the passer call.
Yep.
They're about to punt the ball back, and then they got the roughing the passer, and then they kept going and they kicked the field goal.
Yep. So that puts us where we are now.
Yeah, it kind of equals out a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Except you don't have
the week I faced you though, I had I think one of my starters was on IR. I think I started like Kansas City's backup running back, and I got like 2 points.
Yeah, but you also started Hurts. He had a big game.
Yeah.
And you had another running back. You picked up a Bears running back out of the trash can. He had a big game. You have an uncanny knack for doing that, by the way.
Yeah. Especially this week. I was lucky. That's good.
That's Ernest Johnson out of the garbage.
Yeah, I can't drop him because I just can't trust Chubb anymore. So I have to keep him. Manny dropped Booker for me. That was his fault. I started him like 3 weeks in a row, giving me like 15 points a week.
Yeah, Manny was telling me you were giving him crap for that.
Yeah, I mean, he just dropped him for no reason. We didn't even see what was going on with Barkley. So it's like,
oh, speaking of Barkley, what do you think of Manny's trade with Barkley prior to the injury?
Prior to the injury, I mean, I was going to try to trade for Barkley. I didn't realize he hated Barkley so bad. He was like, I just need to get rid of him no matter what.
Give him away at work.
Yeah. I was like, I mean, I'll take him, but I didn't really have anybody. It was really early on in the season, so I didn't really have any. I mean, I would have given him Edwards-Helaire, but I don't think he wanted him. So,
that would have been a great trade. Both players are hurt.
Yeah, I mean, at the time, I thought Dave.
Well, I'm glad I got Swift.
I thought he won it. I thought Dave's Secret Crush won that trade, but Swift has been really good.
He'll make it. He'll feel really good about that. You were talking about the teams that you think are their most dangerous before we went on the air, and you really like Dave's Secret Crush team. Oh, yeah.
Him and Nick and Jamie, I think, probably top two.
Listen to that, the fan. He's going to be a big fan of yours. Anybody who strokes his ego, he's going to be like, that guy, he knows what he's talking about. He's finally you get a guest on that knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, no, I've never met him, but I think his team is good, and I think he knows what he's doing. Yeah, it's just he's lucky. Like his team's going to be healthy for the playoffs, so he'll be a tough help.
So Manny brought you into the league. Have you surpassed your mentor? Do you think you surpassed Manny in overall prowess?
Probably.
I mean, the history of Manny's. I think he lost his first game, and then he went on a 10-game winning streak, trash talking the entire way. Yeah. And then he got the target on his back, and he's never been the same since.
Yeah,
what was that 2 years ago? So last year was your second year?
Last year was my second year, yep.
Did you make the playoffs? No, right?
You already answered.
I don't think you did. I don't think you did. So this year when I make the playoffs, I'll have surpassed you. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, and I think you're pretty. I mean, you haven't clinched yet, but I mean, it would have to be an epic collapse for you to not make it at this point, being that you're in first place with what, like 3 weeks to go or something.
Well, I guess there's a chance I could. I have 4 weeks to go, I think.
Yeah, see, I should pay attention to this. I haven't paid attention at all, which is why it's a miracle that I'm on the bubble for this. Week 11, so 11, 12, 13, 14. So 4 more games left.
Yeah.
He has the most points.
I have the most points. I don't help out, but
and you have 7. You're 7-3. One of 2 teams that are 7-3. Wow, we have the 2 7-3 teams right here. Yeah. So the worst you could do would be 7-8 if you lost everything.
Mm-hmm.
7-7.
Oh well, whatever. I can't do math. Shit. Yeah. So 7-7. So I mean,
yeah.
I mean, like the bottom rung of these teams, I mean, they're going to have 7 losses, or if like one more loss and they would have 7 losses already. Like Wakanda already has 7. So, I mean, it's looking pretty good for you right there. So, But all right, since we're not going to just hound you, geez, you feel free to hound him with whatever question.
No, I asked all the questions I needed to ask. This is all I need to know about this guy. He's motivated. He's up at 5 a.m. He's serious.
The funniest thing I've encountered all year is like the week that you beat Gronky Kong. You came and worked that Monday, and you were like, "I'm exhausted."
Beating this guy
was exhausting thing I've ever experienced.
Oh my god,
that was so close. Yeah, I thought I had him.
You did for a large part. Every single game your guys performed, and I'm like, it was just back and forth, and we just started a little bit to pull away, and then we just finally won it. And
How much did you pay for Patterson way back? Because you got him on the waiver wire, right?
Oh, the Patterson thing pisses me off so much because I actually, so I had like a free player like early in the game, and I picked who was the guy that I picked up instead? I like
Roundtree, Larry Roundtree
the third. So I was like debating between
Roundtree.
No, I was debating between Roundtree the third and Patterson, and I was just like, it's fine. I'll pick up Patterson like in the waiver wire. Like nobody's gonna pick him up, and they like blew up for that game, and then of course Geese got him, and then he's been sitting on this guy for like the entire. It just pissed me off.
Yeah.
I could have had this guy.
Yeah, I was like, that was like the best pickup of the entire year. I know. Like, I should have put way more. I don't even know if I put money on that guy or not, but however much you spent on him was well worth it.
Yeah,
he went for
yeah, I don't even. Well, here we can look at.
Well, in previous fantasy leagues that I've been with with Hirsch, like in another league, like he would always pick up Patterson, and he would always underperform. I remember you did like 3 years in a row.
Patterson, yeah. Well, he was on my Patriots back then.
Yeah, that's true. He was on the.
Then he fell off.
Vikings?
Now he's
Vikings
great again.
Ironically, it's not Patterson that I'm regretting. It's the offers for Patterson that are kicking me right now. I was offered Jonathan Taylor for Patterson.
He was.
Wow. I didn't do it. And I was offered Jamar Chase for Patterson. In retrospect, I probably should have done that too.
You definitely should have done.
I mean, he's been decent.
I'm trying to see how much you paid for him. It was a long time ago. There's been like a lot of.
Yeah, I mean I think it was like $30, $35, $80. I spent like my whole
money in the
35. You paid 35.
Oh wow! I put 25 down.
He did.
Yep.
I put 20 for him.
Yep. I mean, Gronky Kong, we bid on the same players. It seems like we're up at the same time, looking at you. Like you took Miami's defense this week. I was so pissed. Miami.
Yeah, I might not even play him. I don't even know. I was like, Patriots D's running hot too.
Yeah, but they're playing on a Thursday night game, so we'll see.
They're playing Atlanta. Atlanta might not have 2 bad weeks in a row. I don't think they're going to play as badly as they did against Dallas.
No, that's because the fantasy god smited me that week. Trust me.
Yeah. The Jets are playing Flacco, I think, this week.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, they are because
like 40 years old or something by now.
White was hurt.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think he threw 4 picks. So I think they just benched him.
I thought Zach Wilson's coming back.
No, he's not ready yet. I think.
I don't think so yet.
And I read some. Yeah.
I know the Jets show up like once every like 6 weeks.
I'm almost done. After I picked up his leftover soup, I was done. I was done with picking up.
We got Manhattan. You thought it'd be New England.
Yeah, I did, and it just was not. It was not the right Clem Crowder. All right, well, Geese, here we can go through how
this was. All right, so if you want to see what happens when the fantasy gods smiteth you, let's go over this game. So Dave offered me a chance to go to Lambeau with him and Bowtie, and I was like, nah, whatever. And then the fantasy god said something to say about it. So it started off, I knew something was awry on Thursday night when I had 20 targets between Marquise Brown and Mike Gesicki, and Mike Gesicki dropped all of them. He literally dropped every single pass, and I started to say something's not right about this game. And then Marquise Brown had 13 targets, and you can see the illustrious figure. I mean, you get 20 targets between your two guys in any game, you're feeling pretty good about yourself, all right? Lamar wasn't doing dick for Nick Zaveri right there. And, I was like, okay, keep getting the targets, and he dropped every single one of them. After the game, I started to get nervous, like something's not right here. So I picked up Fantasy Gods, persuaded me to pick up Mr. Gage. As you can see, he really lit up the scoreboard as well. And I knew something also wasn't right when Matt Ryan was getting annihilated for 0.68. points. And the fantasy gods really put the icing on the shit cake when Matt Ryan and Patterson were pulled from the game in a 40-3 blowout in the third quarter. My whole team was absolutely wrecked by the fantasy gods. I mean, is there anybody else? I mean, Cook, that's the slap in the face that actually Cook actually did well after he's usually injured. And I mean, the Dallas D, that's a joke. They're a third of my score from the defense. So this Nick Severi's the former champion who admittedly said he can't be bothered to watch fantasy football or participate. And the fantasy gods sent a message home. CeeDee Lamb blew it up right from the snap, right from the first quarter. This was an absolute massacre. And I don't know who D. Williams is, but he obviously showed up. I think him and Lamb almost had my entire score. Yeah. Just those two guys alone. So this is what happens when the fantasy gods smiteth you.
Any bench blunders?
Bench blunders? Playoffs? Playoffs? I just want to win a game. No, there was no bench blunders. This whole team was a blunder. So
yeah,
congratulations.
Simone has so many good receivers.
Yeah, congratulations, Nick. This was an embarrassment across the board.
And that's Nick, who you said, Eugene is harassing me in a different thing. Or he's harassing all of us. That's true. Anyway, yeah. But you said Nick was actually smited by the fantasy gods earlier in the season. So do you think that now that he's atoned for his mistakes? Well, first of all, you said he was smited for what was the line that he said, or something like he can't even be bothered to.
That's what I said. Yeah. Yep.
And then he made the trade.
Oh no, he said fantasy barely piques his interest.
Barely, yes, exactly. And then
that line right there, you gotta be careful because the fantasy gods don't like that. That's frowned upon. They blesseth you with a championship, and you say it barely. I mean, that's dangerous wording right there. But of course, that's Trump by not going to Lambeau Field, apparently.
Who are his running backs?
Knicks. Whatever Williams is one of the 30,000 Williams.
Yeah.
And then Peterson.
Oh, Harris.
And I was beaten. The fantasy gods put my old running back Adrian Peterson into the lineup.
Yeah, that was an extra. So I mean, he didn't get anything, but yeah. So what happened there?
What's his record? He actually doesn't have a bad team.
He is actually, yeah, surprisingly after the trade where he got lambasted and everything, his record has been pretty good. His record right now is 4-6. So he's not, he's still on the cusp, but he can't. I mean, because what was he? He was like 0-4 or 0-5 when that trade was made or something.
He beat me last week with like Lamb and Cooper doing nothing.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe he's atoned. Maybe he took a secret side trip to Lambeau or something. Who knew?
Well, he steamrolled through Hackettstown.
Yeah, he could make a run. Actually, he has a pretty good team. It's actually not that bad. He has 2 starting running backs now, and he has all those receivers, like 5 good receivers. I don't know.
I don't think he has enough time left. I mean, maybe he would have, but
4 weeks could be 8-6 if he runs the table.
I've already proven that I can't do math, but yeah, he would be whatever. What? Well,
I traded him for
Eugene. You're
Smith too.
You're on the air already. Why don't you just come on to the stupid Zoom if you want to do this?
I want to go play geese. So
I'm on the podcast, you buffoon.
How do you play online in this game?
I don't know. I'm in the middle of the podcast. You're gonna watch this tomorrow, and you already complained about like our last week thing because we were falling asleep. Now we're wide awake and doing this all for you, Manny. Or what do you call it? Hirsch already told you, or like had a whole part where he said that you're like actually a really good team. Like you're gonna like this episode, and now you're screwing it up.
I want to play 2K.
So go play 2K.
So he complains when there's no podcast, and he complains when we're shooting the podcast that there's no basketball players.
Yeah, and the other fan that we have, Whaler's going to be. He's going to have a whole thing about this segment, this part of it right now.
Mm-hmm.
So either join us or whatever. Maybe you could maybe play basketball after. I don't know. but either join us on the program. I gave you the password and everything. No.
I jump in the middle again.
You want me to play you in basketball while we're doing the podcast? That's unprecedented.
No, that's not going to happen.
Games, because you're always playing video games anyway.
All right, if you keep complaining, I'm going to fall asleep.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to fall asleep on you. You're going to ruin the show tomorrow. Write everybody in the league. Write all your comments to Eugene, care of Dave's secret crush. All right, goodbye, Eugene.
Bye.
All right, moving on. I think I'm going to punish him. I'm not even going to wait for his game till the end. We'll do his game right now. So he played his former coworker and lost to him. Oh, wow. This is why he doesn't want to talk about this. He's completely embarrassed. He lost to Cyberdyne. Ooh. No wonder why he wants nothing to do with this game. 104.34 to 97 That's terrible. What happened here? So I guess Brady, that hurt him. Brady only 17 points. Derek Carr outplayed him. And Vegas was not good from what I saw in that game. Deontay Johnson, you said you like him. And like you said, he's been good. Warren has been good. Najee Harris was 17, 5 for Gaskin, 10 for Higbee, Judy with 11, and then who cares about the rest? Lombardi didn't really do much either. 22 for Jefferson, 14 for Eckler, 19 for Henry. And the kicker got 11. I don't know. This is a tremendously boring and nothing stands out here at all. I feel like this week had a lot of that, like where it was just low scoring, like nothings. Oh, Gibson, he sat Antonio. I mean, doesn't he? He always touts this guy, and he gets 21 points on his bench.
Mm-hmm.
And he played him instead for Gaskin, who got 5. Ouch.
Yep.
He always has a ton of points left on the board on the bench.
Eugene does?
Yeah, because his team is kind of like very balanced from top to bottom.
You know what? Now that we have Hirsch, let's have Hirsch analyze each game. I like to see his insight. So what do you think of these two teams about this result?
The result? Well, I think Dave's team is better, I think, overall. But, yeah, like Manny said, he kind of has a bunch of even keel guys. So you kind of don't know who to start. That was kind of the problem. Like, you don't know who to start.
Wait, so they're all just bench players?
Well, he'll start Barkley over Gaskin. You know, probably he was Barkley on a bye, right? Is that why he didn't play him?
Hurt.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Did you catch our bench players broadcast blow-up from Eugene like 2 weeks ago? The critique was his whole team was basically a bunch of bench players, to which he vehemently denied while he was at the gym working out. And you just said independently with no prompting, even-keeled players, a.k.a. bench players? Would you say that?
Yeah, I mean, he's got a couple good – Harris and Barkley kind of above everybody else. But the other – I'd say from tight end and flex down, you can start anybody on his bench.
From the belt down after he sodomized Nick Zaveri? Is that what you're saying? So after didn't we pencil him in for the championship after that X-rated raping, and now he's 6-4?
Yeah, yeah. Because he was pretty bad. Like, what was his record when that trade happened? He was not. He was down at the bottom. He was down at the bottom with the Whalers, actually. Mm-hmm. And Whalers, for the most part,
I think it was 2-4,
something like that. I don't know. I don't even remember.
He could have been 2-4 because he's lost a couple. So he was like 2 and something.
It would have been week 6 that he did that. That was like really early that they made that trade. No, wait. Nick was 0-5, I think, when he made the trade, because that's why he made it. So yeah, he was probably 2-3 or something like that, and then ever since then he's. I don't know. What do you think about like the Blues here? I mean, like they keep winning, and I just don't know how this like. They were a mystery to me.
AJ Brown is pretty good. I mean, he had a bad week this week, but he's been good.
AJ Brown has been good, but other than that, I mean,
Jefferson. He's definitely Minnesota's top receiver. I like his receivers.
Sure. I mean, has Eckler done anything?
Yeah, he's pretty good.
This is another guy, by the way, who can't be bothered to watch football.
I know. Yeah, he always talks about how he hates football.
Oh wait, he's the one with the fullback.
Yes.
Is he the fullback? Yeah, he's the one with the fullback. Nice.
Getting fullback like numbers, by the way.
Yep. I remember when he played Manny, and I was like, Manny was kind of nervous, and I was like, man, he's starting a fullback. What are you worried about?
Yeah, well, as opposed to the guy who's going to actually listen to every word that you say, Lombardi will never hear a word that you say on this. So you can insult him all you want. He didn't even put the show to the auction because he can't be, because I don't know, he's taking a political stand against CTE or something by not participating in. But let me tell you something. Once he wins the championship, you're never going to hear him stop. I know everybody in this league. It's once they capture the ring, they don't care. He's going to come on. He's suddenly going to talk about, you know what? I feel like the CTE is cured, and I just want to tell you all, you suck.
You let me win the championship. I wasn't even there.
No, I wasn't even there. I didn't even care. But I'm gonna. But the parade starts at whatever and drinks for everybody and whatever. Okay. So all right. Well, we can move on to the underperforming Whalers. I mean, this kills me. I had a chance to really just stick the nail in the coffin, but Carson Wentz. He done screwed me. I mean, that's really where this came down to. I mean, feel free to. Well, I'll take the analysis on this game, although this seems to be like a whatever. Go ahead. Let me have it.
Take it
away. Geez, where to even start? You definitely have the best running back duo, but the injuries for you, it's rough. It's just too much. You're the one that has Lockett. I remember during the draft, I was in the hospital and my wife was giving birth, and I was like putting money on Lockett. And I think at the last second you came in and you stole him, and I was so pissed. I wanted Lockett so bad.
Really? Do you want him now?
Yeah, I wanted him.
Oh wait,
I mean,
so
not
this is with
week,
Russell Wilson back in the lineup?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Well, Russell Wilson put up like a point more than that anyway. So,
I mean, if you want Lockett, I'm sure we could work something out. I mean, it doesn't have so many contractions because he's just too inconsistent. I mean, this is actually something that Gene had right when he was criticizing me at the gym, saying that Lockett is just he's too boomer bust, and he is.
Yeah.
I will say they gave so he only got 4 for 3. It was so embarrassing. But they did. Wilson did keep attempting to throw it down to him. He just couldn't haul it in. So
yeah, Beasley, I'm surprised he did so bad. Didn't he have a really good week like a week or two ago?
Yeah, I think there was like a rib issue that's going on. But I don't know. He did have a really good week. Beasley's the one who cost. That was the one that Geese last minute.
Here we go again.
Yeah,
broken record, Dave.
Well, yes.
Go get a flat tire in the interstate. The Beasley game.
And then does Knox just not do anything anymore?
No, well, he had a hand injury, and this was the first game back. Injury. I think he's going to be fine this week. I mean, I think both of them should be fine this week. I forgot who they're playing, but I'm not too concerned about that. I don't know.
Arizona's defense against Carolina. Cam Newton tore them apart.
Yeah, I mean, but also what's his name back? Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
No, but I'm saying Kyler Murray's not back, right?
No. But that has nothing to do with the defense.
It does when you can't move the ball.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and then DeAndre Hopkins is he's still not there either. Yeah. So I mean,
that's part of the Nick Shafto trade.
Was it?
It was. That was another Shafto.
He got Hopkins from Nick.
Yeah. Oh no, Hopkins he might have had it. I think he got Adams. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was Devontae Adams. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Nick can't give away everybody.
If he would have had him, he would have given him away, but he didn't have him.
He has Adams, Hopkins, and Waddle. Damn.
Yeah, Waddle's a good pickup. Jones is injured, but he already had Dylan.
Yeah.
Fournette has just been plugging along too. I had him in the very beginning of the year and threw him in the garbage can. The Raccoons were right there.
And then Kittle was actually the other half of the trade with me for McCaffrey. I mean, there was a bunch of guys that were involved, but that was really the main. He really wanted Kittle, and I didn't care for him at the time. And they both went down with injuries. So But I mean, he's been. I mean, the last couple of weeks he's been really good. So I don't know.
That's another solid starting lineup.
Yeah, the Whalers. I mean, because Whalers, I have to. I mean, because he's always complaining about how he's, I mean, he's the underperforming Whalers. How he thinks that he should be so much better. Do you think he should be so much better?
I mean, it's not a great performance by him by any means. I mean, he's way below the projection. 102 points is nothing to be proud of.
I don't think. I don't think Whalers is proud of this either. I think that he's just happy to hold on. But I mean, like,
he got the win though.
Well,
when he gets Hopkins back, though, I mean, he's going to be so much better.
He's a good team.
He's going to be so much better.
Really sucked the last couple of days. I don't know what last couple of weeks. I don't know what the hell's wrong with him.
With who?
Stafford. That team is loaded. Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
You just throw the ball to the other team.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, because I mean that's because Stafford is actually what cost him against Geese. Like Geese, you were getting worried in that game, and then Stafford just completely did nothing.
Yep.
That's the reason before the season. I didn't think the Rams were. I mean, I thought they were good, but I didn't think they were going to win the Super Bowl because, like, let's see Stafford win a playoff game first. You know.
I didn't understand the move. I thought that Goff and Stafford were about to, like, I didn't realize. Yeah, I didn't think that Stafford was going to fill in. You know. Or work out so well.
Like the next Dan Marino. I mean, it was like next John Elway. I mean,
well, what do you call it? Dan Marino didn't win a Super Bowl either. I don't know. I think this is Aaron here.
Stafford's good in the regular season, though. He puts up numbers.
I mean,
no, but this was a big win for Whalers because at 3-6, he was on some rocky turf right there. This was a big win. 4-6 kind of puts you right back in it a little bit. You're on the edge. But Harbakin, what would that have been? A 6-3 record, right? No, 6-4. He would have been right in the mix too. So this was a big game for both teams.
I know this is definitely a tough loss. I mean, as far as the analysis goes, I mean, like Mac Jones was the one that had I played him instead of Wentz, that would have made a difference.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Tony Pollard, I still can't get behind the idea of playing a backup. So, whatever. And then Julio Jones, like I said. He finally can go to his own schoolyard. I was like ready to drop him, and then he got on IR, and I'm like, great, you could just hang out there. I'm so done with the guy. And the thing that really screwed me this weekend was the Robert Woods parting move.
Are you just gonna hold on to him for the whole season?
Robert Woods?
Yeah.
Probably not. I mean, I don't need the space in the IR, and it's just painful to watch it go. But once I need the space in IR, I'll drop him off. I mean, what am I going to do? For Jones, I don't know what I'm going to. I mean, Jones, it depends on if I need space for Jones because I hate him. I want him gone. I don't think he'll ever see anything again. But I don't want anybody else to have him because I could see him doing well in the playoffs, depending, like especially. Now that Henry's gone, but I don't know. As long he's lucky, he remains on my team because he's on IR. That's all I can say about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. That's all I have for this game, really. I mean, it's just a low-scoring week.
Running back, he's got Sanders. He's got.
I'm sorry, where are we looking? Oh.
The Whalers, like at running back.
Yeah.
Saying it's bad?
No, it's good. Sanders,
it's good.
Dylan, and then he's got Jones, who's hurt now, but he has the backup, and then he has. I
actually think that helps him because they were splitting like so much with Jones and Dylan,
yeah.
And like I think now that he could have just Dylan, it'll like for the next couple of weeks,
Boston Scott. I mean, he splits the carries with Howard, but
I can't figure out that team with what
is Hopkins coming back or is he on a bye actually?
They play Seattle this Sunday.
They might hold
then a bye.
Yeah, they might hold Kyler Murray and Hopkins until after the bye.
I can see them.
He's actually another team that if he makes it to the playoffs and all his team is healthy, like he's a pretty solid starting lineup too.
I always say never count the Whalers out until he's actually out. I mean, he's always got.
I think was this his first week with Kittle or something? I didn't realize he had Kittle.
I think it was his second week with Kittle.
And then Devontae, yeah, that's.
Yeah, no, I mean he's
maybe another one that's up there.
Yeah.
Is there any teams that you don't like or that you don't fear other than Hackettstown? The either one.
Yeah, Hackettstown.
Well, we could look at you, Wakanda. You don't fear. You don't fear Wakanda. Actually, let's go over that since you bring him up. I don't think anybody needs. Yeah, this was
Yeah, that's a rough week.
Oh my God, is that a real score? Actually, I only beat that by 10 points.
So what happened in your game here? So, and you had, by the way, Russell Wilson, who only had 5.6 points, 4 points starting for you, but it really didn't matter much.
Yeah, my backup running backs pretty much won the whole thing alone.
Herbert with 14 points was the only player on his entire team, the quarterback, with double digits. Everybody else.
I didn't really see the breakdown of the score.
No.
Is this where we're using you can McKissick your season goodbye?
Does he have? Yes, he does. He
does. Yeah. This is it.
His season goodbye. My God. Wow. His high other than the
for Mike Williams.
What?
He traded for Mike Williams, right?
Yeah, he did. He traded to the Lightning rounds. Who did he trade? He traded Connor.
Oh.
Wow.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Is somebody hurt on his team or something?
I think the coaches.
I mean,
Kamara. Yeah, but even if he had
Kamara and Brown, AJ, what do you call it? Antonio Brown,
yeah,
and Chris Carson. Okay,
I guess you pay the price for spending $104 on a player.
Right.
Oh yeah, this was another guy, by the way, Arnold. Like, I actually was going to pick up Arnold. I'm like, nobody's going to pick up Arnold because I'm not giving
them up. I think this is like my third time picking him up.
Yeah, but why? First of all, but second of all, I'm not giving away where I get my information, but in Obscure Sports Quarterly, I saw Dan Arnold. Oh, you should go pick him up. And then I was like waiting to see what was going to happen with, if I had room on the bench or whatever, because I really wanted to pick up Kmet for this week because I think he's going to be good this week and whatever. I was juggling a whole bunch of shit, but Arnold came up in my I should go get him, which I'm sure you don't subscribe to that which I do. So I'm just so curious where the alert for Dan Arnold went for you. Like, how the fuck did you find that guy?
I started him a week too. So like I was gonna keep him on my team like weeks ago, but then he just started kind of doing crappy for a little bit. I think it was. I don't know why I picked him up again. I think I was gonna start 2 tight ends this week, and then I decided to start Smith at the last second
for my playbook. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Package, right? Well.
Yeah. Well, I didn't think anybody would want him. He plays on Jacksonville.
I love how your bench outscored his team, and it actually outscored the Hagglers too. It's hilarious.
That's a great point there, man.
Yeah, 79. Yeah. Yeah, you can.
The New England running back situation is another one that's kind of weird. Like Benjamin, what was it? Benjamin had 27 points on your bench.
Stevenson.
Stevenson. Yeah. Benjamin had 2 points. Yeah, Stevenson.
But no, Benjamin sucks. Yeah.
Yeah, you had multiple double digits there, but not one. I mean, what's his highest score other than his quarterback? So 8 points for
8 on Thursday.
He's having a very typical Hagglers-like season.
Yeah, except the Hagglers usually turn it on. I mean, so this is the time when he's ready to turn it on.
This is what he calls turning it on.
Durnist is actually really good. 22 points.
Who?
Durnist.
Oh, Johnston. Yeah.
Oh, Johnson. That's because every single other running back on that team was had COVID or is injured.
What about Moore? How do you think that Cam is going to affect him? Because he was, or just in general, because he used to be really good.
Hopefully up. He can't get much worse at this point.
Yeah. No,
he really fell off a cliff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got lucky with the Smith trade though. I don't know. That's kind of saving my ass a little bit.
Nick Zaveri as well.
Yeah.
Did you trade for?
Yeah, I traded Chenault and Perrine for him. And then I think he dropped them both like a week later.
Yeah, Chenault is on the waiver wire.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think they're both on the waiver wire.
Z-Mart strikes again.
Yeah. Well, he had like 5 good receivers at that point. I mean,
It's
he
a
was
late
just sitting on the
season
bench.
sale. It's almost the fall. Halloween and Christmas and Thanksgiving are coming, so.
I mean, he has free returns, like whatever.
Yeah.
God,
This was on clearance, Devontae Smith on clearance.
Yep.
For the 2 people you gave him, he dropped.
I think he dropped them like a week later.
Here, just take them.
Yeah.
I mean, is there any team that hasn't touched Z-Mart this year? Like, I mean, I haven't. I don't think I've made a deal with Z-Mart. I think obviously it's just going to be
multiple trades.
What?
I've offered him multiple trades for Damian Harris.
Well, who do you plan on throwing on the bench next week? Just send him off today. Does anybody want to re-pick up in the garbage can? You can go get them, and
it's okay.
Yeah, but pretty easy week for you here.
Yeah.
Well, I gave him Ruggs. I gave him Ruggs and Zach Ertz for Marquise Brown. Ruggs is out of the league with a vehicular homicide.
Jesus Christ.
And Ertz he dropped, so I picked him back up. He's currently on my team. So Nick Zaveri, we should just do a whole segment on what has gone through Z-Mart.
And yet.
Again, he beat the crap out of me this week because the fantasy got smited.
Yep.
It's just there's a lot of subplots going on this season.
All right. Who is left? Oh, the Lightning Rods versus Nick and Jamie. Now, you said that Nick and Jamie, in your mind, is probably one of the best teams that you think. So it's Eugene, Nick, and Jamie are the ones that you really fear.
Yep.
I think
probably.
Geese thinks highly of Nick and Jamie as well as a team.
Oh, yeah. They're one of the top teams.
Mm-hmm.
They have all the pieces of it. You can see what just happened.
I mean, 167 in a week where nobody got anything.
Yeah, that's a really good week.
So
it's astonishing that they're 4-6. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I have no idea what's happening.
They have the most points against, I think.
Do they?
Yeah, but still, we have like Hill and Debo. That's just crazy.
Yeah, really good receiving core.
Yeah.
Elliott, Kelsey.
Yeah, that too.
Elliott.
Prescott's been hurt, right? Like 2 weeks.
Patriots offense picking up. Myers is going to be good. Yeah, this is a team to watch out for sure.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the only thing that even did anything was Mahomes with 46 in this game. I mean, Connor 15. Did he get another touchdown this week? I mean, the other half of the Wakanda deal. I mean, this feels like like a recipe from years ago. Remember because that's what Eugene built his team off of a couple years ago. With he built it off of Z-Mart and Wakanda. I mean,
Z-Mart where the doors never close. The cheeks never close. There's always room for one more.
When is the trading deadline? Is it like this week or something? When is
June. Probably passed already.
I don't think it is. I think it got extended because this season got extended. I don't know.
I don't remember. I got to check.
It's definitely in November, I think. So it might be this week or next week. So I don't know. Well, get your last your clearance deals 80% off.
Anybody left to trade? Yes, Thielen still.
I don't know. Well, Black Friday sales or something.
Thielen is the manager special.
Yeah.
Well, Hirsch asked me, like, I want to make a trade. And I was like, he was thinking about offering Wakanda a trade. I'm like, no, that guy he's stubborn. He's not going to give you anyone. Just go to Z-Mart. He'll entertain something. And he gave him Devonta Smith.
Yeah, why go with
he had way too many good receivers, though.
Yeah, why go with somebody who might actually negotiate a fairish deal when you can just go to Z-Mart?
I was sleeping on his couch and he was putting his baby to bed and he showed me his phone. He's like, he accepted this? Like Hirsch couldn't believe his eyes.
Well, he would denied you like immediately, right? Like every time, and then as soon as I sent him one trade, he accepted it. But I don't know what you're offering him, but
I think it was like Godwin and one of my running backs on my bench for Smith or something.
But he had way too many good receivers.
So you had to extricate him from that, yeah. As did everybody else. You have way too many good receivers. The receiver aisle 4 with the receiver aisle. You gotta.
Yeah.
There were no supply chain issues there.
These players are priced to move.
Well,
you're gonna throw those guys in the dumpster here. Let me do that for you. Let me take those guys off your hands.
And I will throw them out.
For 22. Right. Yeah, I'll throw them out for you.
Well, make sure to get your Cyber Monday, Black Friday deals while you can.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
waste management.
And is that all the games? I think that's all the games, right? Oh wait, no, Till and Trey.
We missed it.
Yeah, there you go.
The Manny Friedman beatdown.
Yeah, look at this. What happened?
Oh, yeah. Okay, critique your mentor there, Hirsch. What do you think about this game?
Let me look at Manny's team. Oh, your Alan Diggs thing finally worked.
Finally. 10 weeks.
Oh, and you finally started Andrews. That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Andrews, who, by the way, had to sound through in the garbage can.
Yeah, I got a great deal out of that.
Yeah. What was the deal, by the way?
Would you get Thomas?
Yeah, look at that. It was 12 and 16. Wait. Yeah, so he got 30 points out of the 2 players I gave him.
Who were the 2 players you gave him? Who were the 2 players?
And Kirk.
Andrews and Kirk, right?
Kirk and Andrews for basically food fighting Michael Thomas.
Yeah, and where's Michael Thomas now?
I think he's at the rehab center. Rehabbing that ankle. And the coach is grabbing his ankles.
So
Swift has been awesome for you though. Swift has been really good.
Yes.
So
but your running back too is still trash, huh? Gordon.
Yeah, I mean, Gordon had one good week. He had a good week last week. But yeah, I mean, he splits the carries with was it Javonte Williams?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. He's healthy, so that's all I can ask at this point.
Yeah. Do you have any injuries at all? You have not one injury?
Not one injury.
Wow.
Nope.
Yeah, even my bench. Sutton's still okay.
I mean, your guys play like they're injured, like on the bench.
Yeah.
Hey, how much did you pay for Peoples Jones and not to play him?
I think I paid like $7.
How many times has Allen Robinson been picked up and dropped by somebody?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I paid $31 for him in the draft.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I had to look it up because he was so bad. I was like, let me see how much money I wasted on him.
That could have been Lockett money.
I know.
Well, I mean, maybe we can make a trade for him. Go pick up Allen Robinson out of the garbage can, and maybe I'll take him, and then send him off to Zamunda, and we'll see.
I mean, Tillett does know you don't have to keep like IR players in the lineup, right?
Did he do that again? No. Well, so first of all, he's suffering from Kyler. So Kyler Murray was his quarterback, and so now he has to go elsewhere. So he's gone with Tannehill.
Oh, you're so lucky. He had Chase and Cooks on a bye.
Yeah, I've been lucky with that too, to be honest.
Oh my God.
There was
Murray, Cooks, and Chase. You would have lost. You definitely would have lost.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
You put up that much without him.
I think also the week I played Whalers, he didn't have Devontae Adams. I think he was like hurt or something. I don't know.
I mean, his Ridley and Thomas too. His entire starting team is on his bench.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we got very lucky.
Yeah.
What is that? Oh, non-football injury. Oh, right. He had a Simone Biles injury, right? You could put that on IR.
I guess so.
I didn't know that even qualified.
Technically not injured.
I know.
Is he coming back?
I don't know. Is he? What does his shrink say? They're not even giving updates. He's just. I don't know.
Nobody knows.
Isn't giving updates.
It's a secret.
Yeah. Okay. And he's got Beckham. See,
Yeah,
like,
but they also have Stafford starting at quarterback.
He's clearly not on the same page as Stafford yet.
yeah, but I mean, that was like he got there on what, Friday? I mean, like, give it a week at least, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You think
They're gonna like force feed
him?
him the ball though.
What's that?
They're
think
gonna
the
force
Rams are
feed
gonna ask
Odell
for
the
Goff
ball.
Okay, let's start. Let's start one at a time. So, Hirsch, what were you saying?
I said they're gonna force feed Odell the ball, so he's gonna put up points.
Yeah, and then Geese, what were you saying?
Hey, do you think the Rams will ask for Goff back? Just kidding. We made a mistake.
I have to say, I've been extremely lucky with buys. Like the week I played the Blues, Eckler and Jefferson were on buys.
Oh yeah, he had like, and his entire team was basically Minnesota anyway. Like it wasn't just yeah.
Then the week I played the Whalers, Devontae Adams was injured. Kittle was out.
Do you just like find out like that's? I mean, what
He scored 8 points. That's when he got hurt on that Thursday night game.
What was I watched some video a long time ago, like where it's like, oh, trade people like players that are going to be on a bye the week that they play you, like as a just give them these guys that look great, but like on the weeks that they're going to play you, they're just going to be on a bye. Just you could do that. I could see that like as an underhanded thing.
Mm-hmm.
Get yourself to the playoffs that way. Versus Mardit. Yeah, I don't know. So like Kimmel was doing really well. If he gets Murray back, I mean, like he's another one of the 4-6 teams. Like they need, I don't know. It's a question of can they get themselves back in there. But all right, so let's look at the standings.
Transactions quickly.
Oh, the transactions. Okay. Well, yeah, let's do that. Did anything happen this week? Tua. Well, I guess are we looking at the? So you paid $5. Oh, you got them because of the lower waiver or the higher waiver priority. I don't even know what the waiver priority is.
You got the Cincinnati defense and the Miami defense.
No, that was October 27th.
Oh, so did nobody do anything? Oh, sorry. Yeah. Wait, so yeah, this was all today though. So you got him, and then who's this Foreman guy? Is that the guy that ended up running for?
You paid $25 for that guy?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna play. I need to
argue. Have 3 running backs,
but Peterson is old, and McPherson hasn't been doing anything. I think they're gonna trust Foreman going forward. I saw enough the last 2 weeks to feel that he's gonna carry more of the touches.
Well, both Whalers and Gronkicon here bid 0 for him, so way to go with the outbid.
Right.
Pretty boring week on the waiver wire. I don't know. He finally dropped the fullback though.
No one bid on Kendrick Bourne.
On who?
Kendrick Bourne.
No. Why?
Why?
Yeah, I mean he's been good. He had
1 game.
5 points, 6 points. What are you talking about?
Well, that's not a good week, but I mean that offense is picking up. So they're finally.
They have 5 receivers. I
mean, but you dropped Robinson for him. I mean, are you sure? You sure you don't want to go get him back?
Oh my God, Robinson's available again. I gotta go get him.
I trust Mac Jones more than I do Justin Fields. That's for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I do too. That's why I have Mac Jones instead of. Although I don't know if I trust him. Well, whatever. We'll get into that in the next episode.
I mean, the next couple weeks is going to be very interesting. That middle, even the top, everybody's only separated by maybe 2 games at the most.
Yeah. So from top to bottom, I mean, take Wakanda out of the equation for a second because that's just an aberration. But, yeah, I know.
Separated by 3 games. That's insane.
Yeah, 4 to 6 to 7 and 4. Yeah, so I mean, essentially, theoretically, if all the top ones lost and all the bottoms won, they could catch right there. So I mean,
everybody could be 7 and 7.
Yeah,
Yeah.
In a big mess.
That would be insane. Can you imagine?
Oh, God.
It could be an 11-team 7-7 log jam. And then Dr. Hockey at what? 3-11?
I mean, does hockey win another game? I don't think he does.
Right? 3-11 is not out of reach.
Yeah. I don't know. So 72 moves already. And that by far, first of all, you're not even second, Geese. 49. You're like falling back on that. 56 for the finest in terms of moves. 50 here. And then, 52 for the underperforming Whalers.
Wow. There's been a lot. There's been more moves this season than I've ever seen.
72 moves.
I mean, even
72.
Wakanda made
Man, I didn't even realize I have 72. God.
Yeah, Wakanda made 27, which is pretty high for a last place team. 25 for Zamunda. Does a trade count as a move? Or I don't think that even counts as a move. I think that's in addition to, I mean, that's all the players that he dropped after the trade that he threw into the garbage can for everybody else. Well, I think about 20 of them are that. Yeah, I mean, but yet Nick and Jamie only 15. They've been just whatever around the edges. I mean, the least has been Tillett with only 8. I mean, he's single digits. Interesting. Yeah, no, but I mean, like anything can happen in the next few weeks. Right now, I mean, you two have the edge right now, but and then you certainly have the edge in points. Is it by how much? I mean, it seems like way
barely. Nick and Jamie, it's like right there.
13, yeah, and that their points against was 1197, and yours is so they actually have more points, or you have more points against you than they do. So I don't know how. It must be just like the weeks that they lose a slim margin, or something like that. I don't know.
I have, I think, still the least points against, right?
1144. Yes. So the Hagglers are close. Nobody seems to score against Haggiston.
It's defensive football.
Yeah, well, Eugene doesn't have many points scored against him either, so or neither do I. This explains why. I mean, because I have a crap team. I have no qualms about that. But I will take the 1-point wins when I can get them. Yeah.
Didn't they predict you to go like 13-0 or something at the beginning of the year?
I feel like it did. There was like some kind of something. I don't know if that was this year or something, but yeah, there was like something like I had the best projection. Yeah, which is always the kiss of death. Whenever Yahoo is like, yeah, you got it. No, that's sell your team at that point. Go to Zmart because speaking of which, so I get to play Zmart this week. All right, so the projection is 121 to 115 in favor of Zamunda. So what do we think is going to happen here, gentlemen?
We'll let Donkey Kong take it away.
Can I see the bench? Did he set his lineup already?
Did he set a lineup?
Oh yeah, looks like he did. Wait, Thielen.
Thielen's not even playing again.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, Nick traded for him and never plays him. Yeah,
benching him.
I don't know. He traded for him and then never plays him. I have no idea what Nick does. I don't know.
I mean, he said he doesn't pay attention, right?
No, he said fantasy football keeps his interest, but barely.
Are you starting Cam Newton or are you starting Mac Jones? You don't know yet.
I don't know yet. Well, who should I start?
Because he's going to pick the opposite. That's why he said that.
Yeah.
I think you start Jones.
So we're going to stick with Cam Newton then. I don't know. So here's my problem. Okay, like when I actually, they both have really good matchups as far as I'm concerned. I know that maybe the Washington versus Tampa Bay thing gives people pause from last weekend, but I mean, still, Washington gives it up to the wide receivers and gives up touchdowns all the time. And Jones plays on Thursday. I mean, Atlanta gives it up as well, but he's playing on Thursday. And I get nervous about any kind of Thursday game because it just doesn't like what should happen doesn't always happen. I mean, but it could be one of two things. Either Jones can go off and have just a fantastic game because he played on Thursday, or he could just, not be able to hit anybody because he played on Thursday. So I don't know. Like, it just makes me nervous. And then Cam, I don't know. He's still a question mark. So I don't know.
He has better matchups across the board though.
Who
He has,
does?
like receivers against Kansas City and then Chicago and running back against Atlanta.
Oh, Dave, is Montgomery finally going to make an appearance against me? Look at that.
Oh boy.
You got Taylor against Buffalo. That's kind of tough.
That is a tough matchup, but I mean, I can't not start him.
Well, Montgomery is
Yeah,
what
no, he's
started the
great.
whole firestorm. That's the original pull your pants down trade. Making a season debut.
Mac Jones. I
Against Dave Harbakin.
I know the one who really went after him. What's that?
I'd personally play Mac Jones. I think that offense is starting to click. Plus, Atlanta just looks so bad against the Cowboys. They were just throwing the ball like crazy. I also don't think Washington can have 2 good weeks in a row.
You know, if Zaveri wins this week, he's 3-0 against the critics.
I mean, in all honesty, I
On the
probably
podcast.
yeah, I know. Well, in all honesty, I probably will go with Jones. I mean, if you want to know where I'm leaning, I probably will, only because right now I'm very Carolina heavy at this point. Because you got McCaffrey, Robbie Anderson, and then to add Newton to it, it's like, I don't know. So I probably will go with Mac Jones, but I don't know at this point. Although, as far as the projection goes, it'll only add 1 point. So I don't know. We'll see.
Are you sure? That's who I suggested you go with.
Oh, did you suggest that? Then never mind. It was Newton. It's game day suggestions. It's when you make the suggestion right before, and it's a spur of the moment thing. Now I have time to analyze it and, whatever.
Are you going with Beasley and Anderson over Lockett?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I don't think. I mean, well, I don't know. Yeah. What?
I play Lockett.
Lockett he just worries me too much. I mean, he's certainly, if anybody wants to get a Black Friday sale on Lockett, I'm fielding offers. I just don't.
I'll keep it in mind.
Yeah, I just don't.
I'll keep it in mind too.
I mean,
I don't know. Anderson's had 1 good week. I mean, I guess it is with Cam, but still, I don't know.
it's with Cam and they're playing Washington, so it's a good matchup. I mean, I don't think that I'm going to play Anderson after this week. I just think this week is the week that I'm going to play him. As far as Beasley goes, I don't know. I mean, I could put in Lockett instead, but I don't know. My guy, the guy that I talk to, tells me, like the one I follow on Twitter, the guy, he says go with Beasley.
You're still starting the jumbo package too? Can we continue?
Of course. I'm trying to run the jumbo package all season long if I could go. Absolutely. In fact, so Komet, I picked up Sunday afternoon after the game, the first game started, because I wanted him for this week, because I thought people might go after him. I didn't know if they would or not, but I didn't want to deal with it. So I dropped somebody to get him so that I could start him. So yes, absolutely.
You want to do Dan Arnold for Lockett straight up?
I don't know. I'm not exactly Z-Mart. We have higher
bench.
We're like Target
bench guy for bench guy.
We're Target versus bench guy for bench guy. Well, you want me to find somebody on your bench that just happens to be like on a buy or something, like, and I'll be like, oh, bench guy for bench guy. What?
Yeah, Lockett's not on a buy. You just benched him for Anderson though.
Because I think that the matchup is better. I mean, I don't know. I just do.
I don't know.
Anderson's playing Washington.
Carolina offense scorched the Arizona defense last week.
Yeah. I mean, that happened. I don't know what to say there.
Those games, that Seattle-Arizona game always tends to be a shootout.
Okay.
All right.
I'm playing the Arizona defense, so hopefully it's not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to end up like the Hagglers, who end up playing the Dallas defense, and they do so well that they shut down the rest of the entire team.
That's how we roll.
So I take it from all of the 20 questions that I'm getting that everybody seems to be siding with Zamunda in this game.
I am.
Well, one more win and he beats the critics, all three of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. There you go. Nick They're gonna keep rolling. I'm gonna go to GronkyCon because I want to see who I'm gonna go on after on your bench. Let's see who's on your bench.
Oh, I don't think I set my thing
How
up.
about Cup? I'll trade Lockett for Cup straight up. They're both bench players.
Yeah, but Cup's on a bye. Lockett's not even on a bye. You just benched him.
He's on a bye for my team this week.
How about Cup for Julio? Straight up.
Yeah, I'll give
Julio
you.
on a
I'll
bye?
give you Julio, and I'll throw in Lockett and Julio.
Wow, I don't want to rip you off. It's just...
Also, by the way, when I make a trade, the entire league scrutinizes everything that I do and thinks that I'm shady and crooked. So I don't even like to engage in trades because, they come up with wild conspiracy theories about how I don't even know what happens, but I don't even like to involve myself in it. But all right, wow. So this is actually a big game because you're playing your
I'm so screwed. I don't even know what combination of running backs to start. But no matter what, even if I had everybody, I'm not gonna win. There's no way. Because I'm gonna start Chubb, so put him in there. But I mean Ingram and Stevens. I think both of those guys I can't play this week because the starters are coming back. Edwards-Helaire is still.
Kamara coming in? Is Kamara coming back?
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
And Nick and Jamie is my nemesis in this league.
That is true.
And he has the best matchups too. Like, Kansas City, Debo against Jacksonville is going to put up like 35 points. It's just like,
yeah. This is one of those weeks that I have to agree.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad for you.
It's like I don't even know who to start. I don't think it'll matter who I start.
And this is one of those weeks where you look,
go Nick and Jamie.
Yeah.
This is one of those weeks where you look at it and you're like, you know what? I'm going to start picking up players for 2 weeks from now.
Pretty much.
I'll just put in my whatever
playoff matchup.
Yeah. Go get your defense now so you don't have to bid on them next week. Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, yeah, Nick and Jamie should have this unless something goes horribly wrong. But yeah. All right. Well, can
you go back to the standings for a second?
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna probably sign off. I just want to get everybody's pick for the finals.
Okay. For the finals?
Or for who's gonna win the whole thing, or the finals. Either
Who's
way.
gonna win the whole thing? So early, I have no idea.
I know. Because it could be pretty much anybody from 1 to 11.
Look for the Hagglers to finish just above Dr. Hockey. The way my season's.
Who is gonna win the whole thing? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I said it a long time ago. I said Dave's secret crush after he made that trade was going to be the one that he's the one to beat. I don't know if I believe it, but like, I guess I got to stick with it. I don't know. Eugene has been on a ridiculous run this year.
Yeah.
In terms of everything, in all center sports, he's, is there been a final that he hasn't made? When was the last time he wasn't in a final? Well, actually, I could tell you when. He was a field goal kick away in Madden. That was the last time he didn't make a final, right?
Yeah, I mean, if I'd had to pick a final right now, I'd probably go Gronky Kong versus Nick and Jamie matchup of this week.
Would you? Because Nick and Jamie's 4-6. I think that they're great.
Yeah,
I mean,
it'll be tough for them, but they could still do it.
Look,
they have so many points.
They have such a loaded team that I feel like if they squeak in, it could be, problematic.
Yeah. Look, not everybody can make the playoffs, all right?
Right.
But I mean, those 4-6 teams, they win one week, they're in that 5 and 6 slot. They're in. You just have to get one of the spots.
Yeah, Nick and Jamie has so many points too. They're gonna shoot up to 5th probably right away.
Right.
Sure.
Yep.
So, all right. So I'll give you Nick and Jamie. Will be in there as one of the teams.
I kind of feel like I'm flying under the radar. Like no one's talking about my team. Yeah,
but you just have to piece together a couple more wins and then whatever, and then get. I don't know. I would.
Just solid. Like there's your running back 2 is always just like a random person, or it's like that team has like solid people all the way across.
Yeah. I question whether or not which Hagler team is. I know that the Henry thing is a huge loss, but I mean, I've seen that man win a championship with Joe Flacco against me. So like, if he actually goes back to listening to the same guy that I listen to.
Before Hirsch signs off, can you show us that team that final that you played? Wasn't it the most like ridiculous team that he pieced together and beat you?
Geese's team? That year? Yeah, sure. What was it?
Right. So what was everybody's final pick for who's going to win the whole thing?
Who's going to win the whole thing?
Who's going to win the whole thing?
I'm going to go
One
with
team.
I'm going to go with Nick and Jamie.
Nick and Jamie. I could go with that. Yeah, Nick and Jamie.
Nick and Jamie's team. I say one.
Yeah. Yeah. So he ended up beating me in the final, 119 to 114. His final roster. Does this pop up when I do this? Like, are you seeing his roster or does it not? Like, are you still seeing the old screen or are you seeing the new roster? Okay.
I think we see the roster.
Okay, so his QB was Joe Flacco. His wide receiver was Westbrook Sanu. His starting running back was Kenyon Drake. Curran Williams was his other.
I don't know what that was.
Antonio Gates, he started, and Sterling Shepard.
Wow.
He had Capri Bibbs
roster.
Yeah, this was a championship roster.
Capri Bibbs.
And I sat Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, he sat Stephon Diggs that.
Oh wow, you had 18 from the kicker and the defense. Yeah,
he had 18 points from the kicker and the defense. That's what. Yeah,
that'll do it.
Yeah, and then I mean, like for my team, what did I have that? So
you were first place the entire way, right?
Yeah, that was from start to finish.
So this is Nick Foles seasons for Dave.
Yeah, Nick Foles, Mike Wallace. I don't even remember this guy. Whatever. I had Thielen, only got 4. McCoy back when he was like good. Kareem Hunt with 20. Kelsey, I had 14 points. Gillisley, that was the Gillisley thing. So I actually thought that I had it in the bag. So Monday night was the Nick Foles. So he didn't play till Monday night, but I thought Gillisley had fucked a geese over in the first week of the season. So to be a dick, I kind of put him in to like, I'm going to Gillisley you to do the same thing and I should have played Cole, who I had at 16 points.
The Lightning Rods had Gillisley against me in like week 1.
Yeah.
And 3 times it was Brady and Gronk. So he played for the Patriots, Gillisley. So 3 times Brady threw it into the end zone and it was passes interference, which put the ball at the 1-yard line and out-trotted this guy, Gillisley. And I lost because of that. So Dave thought it was so funny that he picked him up for the championship game. Since it was so lopsided, he was going to win anyway. So he did like a vanity move and dropped his flex for Gillisley. And I got Gillisley in that game. In the second
because Gillisley did score the touchdown.
But the final laugh was on me because the guy he took out had more points than Gillisley and would have won the championship.
So the difference in points, so it's 16.8 to 11.3. Right. So was that a difference of 5?
That difference, had he not put in Gillisley and just kept the original guy in there, Keelan Cole, would have won him the championship.
Yeah, because
laughing at me.
Difference of 119 to 114. That would have made.
This is what happens when the fantasy gods are
exactly. This is why this is why you don't smite.
I'm going to tell you right now, the fantasy gods frown upon shit like that.
Sure, if Matthew Berry's talking about fantasy.
Plus, at the halftime of my games, Dave emptied his entire bench and picked up every single player that I could pick up playing in my game. So I had nobody for the 4 o'clock game. This guy pulled out all the stops. I didn't even recognize him anymore. He turned into a demon.
Jesus.
He wanted to win so bad. And when it was apparent that he was going to lose, I said, "Great game, Dave." And he said, "I can't believe I lost to you," and hung up the phone. That was his way of congratulating me. Then he went and got hammered at a bar somewhere.
Yeah, it was Christmas Day, and I knew that it was going bad anyway because I was I had the kicker for I had Elliott for the kicker for Philadelphia who missed a field goal at the end of the half, and I'm like, no, and all I needed was a touchdown from Foles, who ended up winning the Super Bowl that year, but like he, that was his first week back, and he just couldn't throw a touchdown for the life of him. Like I needed one touchdown all game, and he just couldn't get one. Yep. Yeah. Otherwise, I could have been the first 2-time champion. But right now,
we first know that there's no. What's the league? 7 years?
No, we're ninth. It's the 9th season.
No 2-timer. Wow.
There's never been a second, winner.
Right.
Wow. That's
so
crazy.
which leads me to believe that maybe you'll win it this year. I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe.
I mean, because Nick and Jamie won the first year, so the only players that haven't won, who have not won it? Manny has not won it.
Right? The Whalers haven't won.
What?
The Whalers.
Whalers. Oh, Whalers. The Whalers have not won it either. Yeah, no. That's
Lombardi has it
times, right?
What?
He's been second place multiple times.
Half the seasons. He's four second place finishes.
Wow.
Yeah. He's there every other year. In fact, I think he's due this season to lose the final. Because he wasn't in it last year. Yeah, so you haven't, the Lightning Rods haven't, the Blues haven't, the Whalers hasn't, Tillant hasn't, and that's it. Even Wakanda has one.
Wow.
He beat me. I was the other one who
nice.
was half the times.
All right, guys, I'm going to sign off, but I think, for my pick for who's going to win, I think it's going to be Dave's Secret Crush. Who's going to win the whole thing.
Wow.
That's my pick.
Yeah, because I think that would be just the most obnoxious thing. If he's the first two-time champion, I think that we'll all want to just
kill ourselves. Exactly.
Exactly.
I hope you jinxed it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, let's see.
All right.
So we have a rivalry. Okay, you better start getting up at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, I will. Well, I'm up anyway, so.
All right.
Let's see what happens. Let's see who finishes in first.
Yeah, may the best team, whatever. Keep going.
Whatever.
Yeah, may the best team lose and may my team win. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Thanks for
All right. Have a good night, guys.
All right. Thanks.
See you later.
Good night.
Yeah,
all right. You could. Well, we're gonna continue. Yeah. There you go. All right. So let's. Well, that was good. See, now let's move on to the other games for this week. Where did we?
The burner team. The guy actually exists.
No, the first season it was, I was totally on board with the burner team. Now I'm telling you, he's the way that he plays far surpasses the way that you play.
Wow.
Oof, that hurts.
Well, I mean, not even necessarily on the field, just the way that he makes the moves. Either that, or you would have to have been have multiple personalities. It's just so it's not even that he's. I mean, is he better than you? I mean, by one game, whatever this season, but I mean more in terms of
making moves and actually managing.
Yeah, you would have to be like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Like you manage your teams very differently. Is really actually what I'm saying in the non-insulting way.
Well, the way I manage my team is if they suck for 2 weeks, I just throw them away and that's it. I don't have patience and I don't. I don't know.
But whatever he's doing, like I said, I'll say this. I never see a player that I'm like, ooh, I found one that I'm, like a diamond in the rough, and then find out, oh shit, he's on the finest. That's never happened to me. But all the time I do that, and I find that he's always on GrockyCon.
Yeah. Yeah. So. Well, this year he's on another level because he's home. He's on his paternity leave with his baby son, and they're just on the couch watching football all day. So, he's got it all down pat this year. Yeah,
so, I mean,
he's doing a good job managing his team. He's in first place. So,
are you back to playing video games? Are you playing
what?
Eugene right now?
What?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm ready to go.
Are you playing Eugene now? Because I'm going to get a call tomorrow where there's going to be commentary that Geese is playing video games and he refused to play me.
The podcast is nearly over. I'm just, touching up some stuff. Let's continue.
So where were we? Wakanda? Were we the finest versus Wakanda?
Do you feel confident this week, Manny? I mean, Wakanda's record is not that
I do. But I do fear the Herbert Williams combo. I do fear that.
Okay.
Do you?
Okay.
Still?
That 1 week that Herbert had, he had 50 points and Williams had 4 touchdowns. So those two first can, create some problems.
Okay.
They have been on a slump recently. I'm not denying that, but I'm just, saying they have a lot of upside. So
all right.
That's really it. Everything.
What about your Diggs Allen thing? I mean, that should be fine, against Indy, I think.
Yeah, that game should be good for me.
You think Swift is going to do well against Cleveland? I mean, New England had a great game against them.
Yeah. Well,
your Foreman guy, your $25 Foreman guy.
yeah, I'm hopeful about him. I think they're gonna definitely give him more touches than Peterson and McPherson. So
sure. Andrews against Chicago.
Andrews against Chicago is pretty decent. Kirk against Seattle. Still thinking about Sutton, but Sutton has kind of underperformed lately, so I'm leaning Kirk. And he's been decent even with the Cardinals backup. So,
and then obviously, so
Sutton's on the bye anyway. So
yeah,
it was either going to be him or Bourne, but I mean they have too many receivers, so I'm going to go with Kirk. Plus Hopkins might be out, so I think Kirk is the way I'm going to go. Tucker obviously is great, and I have both Buffalo and Tennessee defense. I'm leaning with Tennessee this week.
Really?
Yeah, they're playing Houston. Tennessee's defense, they create a lot of turnovers. They're very physical. So I've liked both defenses, to be honest.
I mean, Buffalo.
Yeah, but they also lost to the Jets, so they seem to play up to the good teams and down to the bad.
Exactly. That's what.
Good point.
Yeah, I mean, because Tennessee, like Houston, I don't feel like. Yeah, like if this was like, I mean, look at what they did to the Rams versus exactly what he was saying. Like, I don't know. We'll see. I would play.
Yeah, I think Vrabel is gonna he's not gonna he's a defensive guy, and I think he was really pissed after that Jets game. I don't think it's gonna happen again.
Okay.
They've had double digits most of the weeks after that Jets game.
Why is this not coming up?
After the Jets, they've been in double digits most weeks.
And then what's Buffalo done?
They've been good, but they've had terrible matchups.
Yeah, but this is a good one. I don't know. All right, interesting. Well, so also, like, while his projection's at 91, you have to realize that he is going to put in, I would imagine, Higgins or Boyd or one of these guys.
Yeah, Higgins is good.
So I mean, his projection should go up a little bit more. But yeah, I would pick the finest in this one. Yeah. Where else? Did we do? We did not do the Hagglers versus Tillett Trey.
The Hagglers in a free fall right now.
They are. What's going on here? So first, of all, you have Patterson and you have Dalvin Cook. You should be okay at running back. That stabilizes the loss to a degree of Henry. It's just a question of what you do at the other position. So I saw you making moves at like 1 a.m. when I landed yesterday. So clearly,
yeah, right before I went to sleep, I saw you call. I was exhausted.
Mm-hmm. So, all right. Burrow against Vegas. I mean, do you think that he's going to have the kind of game that what's his name had against Vegas last week? Because Vegas is, I mean, the crap that has happened to that team this year. I mean, it is not surprising.
That's fitting. That's Zamunda's favorite team.
True. I don't know. So we'll go over your matchup here.
Well, let's go over the other side right now. Tannehill against Houston could be a problem because Houston's horrific. Mike Evans against the Giants. I mean, as long as Godwin's not hurt, Godwin seems to be Brady's favorite target. Davis of the Jets. That's interesting. Especially
with you having more. So you're going to have Jet against Jet. I mean, that is not something. Which Jets receiver is Flacco's favorite? Wow.
I mean, I heard some very disturbing news that Flacco is going to be starting. I wish I didn't hear that. Are we sure that Zach Wilson is not ready? Because that's disturbing.
We are.
Although Flacco is my old championship-winning quarterback, so I should be fine.
Exactly. He's coming back. He's getting the old.
Patterson has moved from the wide receiver slot down to the running back slot.
His versatility is one of the things that's very interesting. Is that a Q or an O? Why is he injured? What?
It's a Q.
That's just fitting.
No, I heard news that he might be out this week.
Well, that's great. So he's got Henderson on a bye. He's probably got somebody on the bench to replace him. Robinson's been all right, at least in the beginning half of the year. Schultz and Carter. I may just play Ty Johnson, so it's Jet running back versus Jet receiver. thrown to by Joe Flacco. What a mess. What kind of a matchup would that be? Unfortunately, Cooks and Chase are back. This could be a problem.
Playing against a Jets fan, by the way.
Mm-hmm. And he's got well, the problem is, so Cooks and Chase, can they go into the lineup? I mean, he can't play everybody. Let's see. Just scroll up to his receivers again. Would you play Cooks and Chase, or I think Davis is getting out of there. And on the other side of the ball, I mean, Mitchell's been hurt all year long. Gesicki, after his horrid performance, I'm going out on a limb playing him again against, how ironic, the Jets. This is going to be decided in the Jets game, unfortunately. If Patterson's, I mean, how much time do I have to figure out the Patterson situation? 24 hours?
It's a game-time decision.
16 hours?
You got 16 hours.
What is? Let's see. What are they saying? Falcons head coach Arthur Smith said that Cordell Patterson will be a game-time decision for the Patriots.
Great.
Patterson has practiced all week and has a realistic chance despite the short turnaround. Tom Pelissero previously reported that Patterson could be dealing with a multi-week injury. Patterson has a chance to play Thursday as a positive development. Patterson will be a boom or bust RB2 if available with his level of involvement, a major question mark. Wayne Gallman will likely see a bigger role if Patterson is inactive, as Manny probably goes to pick him up right now. Mike Davis, horse's ass, which Nicky baby actually, did he drop him after the trade? Because Mike Davis has a chance to be the biggest beneficiary. Wasn't Mike Davis the one of the ones that was involved? So,
It was. Yeah, this is an absolute mess. I have to give this one to Tilla Trey, as we'll be regrouping after we're 7-4. And hopefully some of these guys will come back. I mean, Gronkowski has been an odyssey.
I mean, the good news is that Gronky Kong probably will lose this week, it looks like, unless something...
Thank goodness. That's what I'm banking on.
But then suddenly you're going to have some other teams up there in first place with you if that happens. So
we're losing our way into the log jam. Well, apparently we've become lumberjacks going into the log jam as the season gets later and later.
And by the way, this will increase Tillett Trey. He will place himself into the log jam at 5-6 with a win here. Like, this keeps he needs this one. Well,
the worst I can do is 7-7, and I think that still makes it. So we're pretty much, I can lose the rest of the way. I'm thinking.
I don't think
until we get Henry back, or I don't know what our plans are.
Isn't Henry out for the
every
season?
game until Henry comes back?
Isn't Henry out for the season?
Well, we'll just wait.
Do you want to trade Henry for Robert Woods?
Perfect. What is Henry's projected return?
Henry? 2022?
Is he on the cover of Madden 23?
Yeah, I don't even know. He's not even.
They have him at all zeros until what would potentially be a first round bye. or we'll be playing that week.
14. Yes, that's the interesting thing. So you really would need to play for the bye, because that's wait.
That's our plan. We're going to lose just enough to get and hopefully Gronky Kong goes into a massive collapse. Well, it doesn't matter because we only have to finish in second. So Manny and yourself and Eugene have to go into a massive collapse.
Or you could just try to win. I don't know. That's a weird thing, but maybe try that.
I definitely give this week to Tilla Trey. I mean, we have a lot of problems we're still trying to figure out.
Clearly. All right. Well, moving on. So we didn't do lightning rods versus the Blues, did we?
No.
Well, this is a good projection. 130 to 132.77. Look at this. Carr versus Mahomes. I mean, Homie had like 40 something last week. He was back.
All right, I'm gonna have to step out. So,
okay.
All right. Okay.
Are you coming back, or are you just leaving?
I'm leaving too.
All right. Well, Geez, you're gonna actually have to pay attention. I guess it's better than falling asleep. We started out so promising. We're just whittling it down until finally it's just a shot of Geese with the controller in his hand. All right.
Have a good night, guys.
Good
All
night.
right, peace out, man.
Yeah.
You want me to just do too? Just finish it up myself?
I think the last game I'm just gonna walk out and then you can do that one here. In fact, I'm gonna go get a soda. Yeah, go do the game. I'll be right back.
This game right here?
Yeah, do this one. Why not? Go ahead.
All right. Well, we got Cyberdyne versus the Lightning Rods. Both teams are sitting at 5-5, so this is actually a critical game for both teams. 5-6 versus 6. And 6-5, you're right back into the mix. 5-6, little bit of a tough hill to climb. Let's see. We got Mahomey over here for Lightning Rods, going up against Dallas. Ooh, that's going to be an interesting. What do we got? Trayvon Diggs going against Patrick Mahomes. That's interesting. Keenan Allen against Pittsburgh. Interesting matchup there as well. And it gets even more interesting, everyone, because Metcalf is playing Arizona. Why is that interesting, you ask? It just is. And the interesting trend continues as Jacobs is playing Cincinnati. I mean, that couldn't be more interesting. I mean, he is questionable. But Connor is not the other running back in a very interesting matchup against Seattle.
Yes.
And the interesting stuff just keeps going down the line as Hawkins has a very interesting match against Cleveland. I mean, it piques your interest for sure, but not as much as Pittman versus Buffalo. Now that's interesting right there. The interest is at a fever pitch. Until we get down to Boswell, who's playing the Chargers, along with, along with nobody. He's the kicker. And finally, we have New Orleans with an interesting matchup against Philadelphia. So all in all, very interesting things going on here for whoever's still interested in this podcast. Dave, back to you.
Yeah.
Is that a controller in your? Are you mocking?
I am.
Are you
mocking me with that controller, Mr. Gambini?
I mean, we pretty much gone down this game. No need to cover any of Lombardi's players because he's completely disinterested in this season. So there's no reason to really cover any of this stuff.
So who are you picking in this game?
I'm going to pick the Lightning Rods because they have the more interesting matchups.
I heard a lot of interestings in that. So first of all, yeah. I mean, yeah, I'll go with that. Cool. All right, moving on. Is that it? Except for the actual game that with our two fans that we should probably pay attention to.
You want to play a basketball game while we're on the air?
Sure. We should. Yeah, I already have the controller right here.
Perfect. All right. Oh my goodness,
we should
a colossal heavyweight matchup.
I know we can.
Eugene can really derail the Whalers' playoff hopes here.
And you know how much
4-7. You know he'd love to do that.
You know how much he loves to stick it to the Whalers, and if he could end the Whalers' season effectively, I mean, he's got to be licking his chops for this one. And then Whalers, of course, has no desire to have his season end at the hands of Eugene, who he cannot stand.
No.
So this is a fantastic game. Whew.
This is going to be an old-fashioned street fight.
All right. So I think this deserves some attention, actually.
Everyone get up.
All the history between the two of them, and our two fans. I mean, wow. Let's look at this. All right. So Aaron Rodgers at Minnesota. I have learned that as much as Packer fans hate the Bears, they really hate Minnesota. I think Aaron Rodgers, I mean, he didn't do that well in terms of numbers last week, but I think I think you give him another week. I think he's going to have a really good game this week. As far as Tua against the Jets, this is an interesting pickup. I've had Tua. I mean, he's not bad. He doesn't, he's pretty good. I mean, Stafford's on a bye, so he needed to pick him up. And I guess that's who was available. Yeah, what did he do against the Jets? I'm trying to see. Like, he still hasn't even played the Jets yet. I mean, look, I don't think this is a bad pickup. Tua can do all right there. So then you've moved down to the wide receivers. It'll be Rodgers throwing to Devontae Adams, which
yes,
I know. So there's advantage Whalers right there. Deontay Johnson and McLaurin. So McLaurin is going against Carolina. Johnson, he was actually, I don't know I think it was before we went on air, but I was talking to Gronky Kong about this, and like he's one of those players that's you just don't ever think about him, but he's like, quietly does his job really well. We'll see if DeAndre Hopkins comes back. That'll be huge if it does. I mean, that'll be a huge advantage for the Whalers. He needs that.
This is the two teams that spread each cheek of Nick Saveri. So let's see who is the winner of this game.
Well, clearly,
after both teams pillaged him, who will win this matchup?
Yes, but clearly, Dave's Secret Crush was the biggest beneficiary of it. As Whalers has not done too well since then.
Well, I mean, Eugene's done okay, but this is going to be a heavyweight matchup for sure.
Then you got Najee Harris versus Fournette. Now, Fournette has definitely been holding his own. And you got Barkley from the other trade from Manny.
Going shafting of Manny.
What? It's not a shafting. I think that Manny actually had the
Manny
better.
Manny shafted himself.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Trojan rappers on the floor.
And like I said, I think that the fact that Aaron Jones is out and replaced with Dylan, I think that actually helps Whalers because I think that Dylan will have a few more. I think
he has a very tough matchup though. Minnesota is very tough to run against.
Are they? I mean, sure. But I still think I'm trying to think. I mean, was it last year when Aaron Rodgers played Minnesota where like nothing was happening for them, or I don't remember. What was it? What it was in? I don't know. I'm an old man. I can't remember all the stuff, but I remember that there was a game where maybe it was Dalvin Cook wasn't doing anything or something. There was definitely something that was happening in the Minnesota game last year that you were very frustrated about, but I don't know what. That's why everybody watches and pays for this wonderful analysis. They can't of nothing. All right. Conklin.
Gibson,
Minnesota tight end. Wow, this is going to be a very Green Bay, Minnesota heavy game. Conklin, who I actually had last week, and then dropped right before the game. What did he end up doing in that game? I'm actually curious, just for my own. 16 points. Wow, way to go, Dave, and screwing that one up. All right, he's going against Green.
What made you drop him?
Because I couldn't play 4 tight ends. I thought that Font had a good matchup against Philadelphia, and then on with Knox coming back, he had a good matchup, but he just wasn't utilized. So that's me being an idiot. I could have had Arnold and Conklin, but way to go. That's the brilliant coaching of the 1603ers. Anyway, so he picks him up there against Green Bay, and then you got Kittle, who is going against Jacksonville, which is a fantastic matchup for the Whalers. And then Gibson, who had a great game last week, going against Carolina, and Waddle, who's been great too. And then maybe some twofers there from Tua to Waddle, and Tua does love himself some Waddle.
Oh my gosh!
Against the Jets, this is a good game. This is a legit good game. I mean, whatever. We'll see with the kickers, and then San Francisco against Jacksonville, and then Pittsburgh at the Chargers. Wow. I mean, whoever we say.
Who do you pick in this one?
You know what? I'm going to actually pick the Whalers in this one. I think he stays alive here, though. It's not. I think that the fact that he has Rodgers throwing to Adams is going to be a big deal.
Yep. Yeah, and then the fact that Dylan, I have to pick the Whalers as well. The fact that Dylan has the backfield all to himself is going to be a big factor.
Yeah, I mean, Kittle will do really well against Jacksonville, I think.
Kittle has the edge over Conklin for sure.
one would think.
Tampa Bay, I don't know how good they are against the run, but Saquon, is this his first appearance back? Potentially?
Yeah, I think that is theoretical. I mean, Tampa Bay has historically been very good against the run. I mean, like, I don't know if it's changed, but I mean, I remember last year they were fantastic against it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think I got to go with Whalers in this one, and I think that Whalers finds himself in the wood chipper mix, which actually brings Eugene. If that were to happen, we're really starting to get a huge log jam if that happens.
Yep.
And by the way, if that, and this is why the game last week was so devastating to not be able to knock Whalers out, because like I said, he's really if he can remain in this and he could squeak his way in, he's got a good team.
I'm definitely rooting for him this week.
You're rooting for the Whalers. That's pretty. that's something. I have no rooting interest in this whatsoever. But I do think he's going to win.
Yeah, I have to go with Whalers.
And even if I did ever root for, even if I could root for Whalers, I would never say so. Do you know what how much my phone would blow up from Eugene if he watched on the podcast? How dare you root for the Whalers? I am not rooting for anybody in this game. I would never between this matchup. I actually just enjoy watching this matchup of these two guys in anything that they play. So this should be a good game to watch, and it looks like it's going to be a good matchup. But yes, I think I would give the edge to the Whalers. Which, if he doesn't win, if you don't win, my phone's going to blow up anyway from this, because he's already on a rampage anyway. Because lost in soccer, he's already hankering to play some basketball. He hates the new rule in basketball that everybody voted for. I don't know. It's just whatever. All right. So
does that wrap it up?
I think it is. So who are you going to go with for your lock of the week and your upset of the week?
Lock of the week, Manny destroys Wakanda.
See, I'm going to go. Okay, that's interesting. I'm going to go actually for the lock of the week. Nick and Jamie beat Gronky Kong.
Ooh, I would like that.
I mean, even he himself said like it's just looking pretty bad just because of the matchups, the buys, everything. It just doesn't. I mean, like, if he pulls this out, then really watch out for him. But yeah, as far as the upset of the week,
well, the upset of the week.
I mean, technically, Hilla Trey over you. What? Sorry.
Yeah, Hilla Trey doesn't have somebody in one of his spots.
Oh, that's true. So
I think he beat Zamunda. That's my upset of the week.
Interesting. I'll so if I'm not taking Tilla Trey, who I actually would pick as my upset of the week, just based on the current configuration, I think I would go with Eugene and Dave Secret Crush. Even though I'm picking the Whalers to win, I'm gonna hedge my bets on that matchup between our two fans. Give them both something to not hate me for. All right. Anything else?
No, it pretty much wraps it up.
All
Good
right.
luck to everybody this week.
Well, as I said, everybody else was disappearing, and I was just going to leave you at the end. So pick up your controller. I'm going to walk out, and you can say goodbye to everybody. So
I think I just did. Goodbye, everybody.